and welcome to the news at 6 on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM Abuja. My name is Oikeke Igado Kure. The headlines this are: $1 billion from excess crude account to fight terrorism. Governors call for release of $1 billion from excess crude account to fight terrorism. Stakeholders say children and young people must be protected from harmful effects of internet. On the foreign scene, British Prime Minister's Brexit defeat looms over EU summit. Details in a moment. Please do stay with us. In other news, the National Economic Council (NEC) has asked the federal government to withdraw $1 billion from the excess crude account and use it to fight insurgency in the northeast. The decision was taken at a meeting of the council presided over by Vice President Yemi Oshibaja at the presidential villa today in Abuja. Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki disclosed this to State House correspondents at the end of the NEC meeting on Thursday. Obaseki said council members expected that the money would be used on the purchase of security equipment, procurement of intelligence, and other logistics. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Army says it will henceforth severely punish any soldier found to have divulged information on ongoing military operations without due clearance. According to a 9-point communique issued at the end of the 2017 Chief of Army Staff Annual Conference, the Army said the resolution is in line with the 1962 Official Secret Act. The Army had in recent past been accused of breach of human rights laws and rules of engagement in some of its operations, especially in the northeast and southeast regions of Nigeria. The accusations were largely based on information from disaffected personnel in the ranks of the military. Children and young people must be protected from the harmful effects of internet and be made to maximize its potentials. This is the advice given to parents and other stakeholders in Nigeria. Those who spoke with us advised parents to improve relationship between them and their wards in order to protect them from online abuse.
Internet abuse by most kids in Nigeria is really painful. With the advent of free internet, once you buy an Android phone that has an internet asset, all you need to do is to get a SIM card and recharge your phone. Boom, you are there. And these kids, before you know it, they are on prompt sites, talking to strangers that you don't even know about. Most of these kids even know this internet better than we parents. These days you hear children of 13, 14 being pregnant by their own age mate or maybe who are a little bit older than them. Not rape cases these days, but because of what they've seen in the internet, they want to see how it's been done.
I don't normally allow my children to use internet because there was a time I watched on Facebook, I saw what is going on there. So because of that, I discourage my children. Don't go to Facebook, it's dangerous. Don't go to any social network.
Parents have to live up to the reality. It is no longer allowed for them to be ignorant when it comes to using technology. Because you find out that most parents actually say they are not up to date, so therefore they cannot keep track of what is going on the internet or what their kids are actually doing with their personal devices on the internet. It is absolutely wrong. You cannot allow an underage, a minor, someone that is below 18, actually go on the internet all by themselves. Is either you encourage the children to use these mobile devices in your presence so you can monitor them, or you take out your time to go on that device and look at the entire history of what these children are actually looking at so that you will be able to guide them and advise them accordingly. The internet is good, but it can be very dangerous.
Access to inappropriate content online may not always be requested by young people, but by simply going online, they are at risk of viewing images which are unsuitable in nature. Inappropriate images may pop up or be at the end of an unrequested link, and once viewed, they can be distressing and have long-term psychological and emotional consequences for young people. And still talking about young people, the increased spate of child theft in the country is becoming alarming and worrisome. Some concerned Nigerians on the street of Abuja advised parents to be responsible and be on the lookout for their children.
Honestly, it wows me the way kidnapping is going in the society today. You see, Nigeria is a country that things have gone so tough that people, even our women that used to stay at home to take care of kids, are the breadwinners today. Sometimes I don't blame them, but most times I begin to ask, why should a woman abandon a baby or be less concerned about a life just in exchange for the running around of the day? Fine and good, the running around of the day is very important, but we should also take care of life because life is very important.
This season, if you've noticed, with the way the economy is, it's been a whole lot of struggling. Everybody's looking for one way to get something or another. You were looking for money to buy things for our family members, to go home, to travel, to just have fun. Even some people don't even have what they need, basic amenities. And, it's very hard not to engage in illegal means to get what we want.
At each time in our life, we should ask ourselves, where are our children and what are they doing? It's an important question that every minute of the day parents should ask, where is my child and what is she or he doing at the moment? When you begin to take this as part of your life, I think it will go a long way to making you know where your children are, because the vulnerability of these children comes as a result of them not being cared for. The mother is not there, the mother is not looking out for the child, it doesn't even know what the child is doing.
Kidnappers and abductors are not ghosts, they are human.
Parents, watch your children. I mean, people, of course, will be tempted and they will fall into temptation. And so I feel that parents, please be on guard with your children. Do not allow them to be gallivanting here and there. Watch on them. If you cannot keep watching them, kindly keep them in the house. Arrange for a babysitter, someone trustworthy, of course.
Children are so precious. Children are the gifts from God, so they are blessings. And I doubt if anybody will go and get a blessing, something that is so dear to you, and you let the thing go without attended to. That's the way our mothers do.
In some areas like Maraba, Nyanya, massacre axis, you will see children, little children walking all alone. Does that mean they don't have guidance? They actually do, but the parents are not doing enough to take proper care of them, to keep them in the safe hand and to keep them in the right places where they are supposed to be.
If you're not prepared for motherhood, please don't get pregnant and don't have children.
I call on all parents of this country to make sure they safeguard their kids, because these are the future they have, not even only for themselves, for the country, for the state, and for Nigeria as a whole.
And as Nigeria moves closer to the general elections in 2019, youth in the country have been advised not to allow themselves to be used as tools to perpetrate political crimes. Those who spoke in Abuja maintained that the right to vote and be voted for without fear or favor is one of the fundamental human rights of the people.
Today's youth are being used as thugs. I really wonder why somebody should bring me in as a youth to vote or to fight for a vote that I know at the end I will be abandoned. While their children are abroad, some of them are just at home cooling off and sending you with a petty money that can't take you home, can't do anything for you, just to take your life. Because at the end you discover that this violence will always result in death most times. If you want to vote, vote with your conscience. Know the right man that will represent, that will protect your interests, that will give you exactly the value that you want in your area, in Nigeria at large.
Elections, as we have seen in this country, have been somehow brutal, somehow violent. We've experienced a lot of things, and basically I really hope that this coming election is going to be something different. I hope that youths will not be used in any way. I hope youths are wiser from elections that have come and gone. You feel better when you think, okay, I voted in this person, let's see what he can do. If he's doing wrong, I'm sure you'll be able to, put him in place or speak out because you haven't sold your vote.
Don't sell your vote. If you sell your vote, you have just mortgaged your tomorrow. Tomorrow, the future of your children, your own good well-being in the society.
We believe Nigeria has the best brain. The world has testified that. Even when it comes to crook, Nigeria has the best. If it comes to politicians that are dubious, it is stay in Nigeria. This time we'll begin to do the right thing.
They shouldn't give in to politicians that try to bribe them, because any money that you get so quickly like this just goes away like this. So basically, it's never gonna last.
It is because we've been selling our birthright, our votes, that our politicians are using us for it, and we've suffered enough.
They should try to know their right from their left and be able to choose rightfully the person they needed to be at the position they needed them to be.
If we change today, we'll change on time. Election is coming, 2019. If we vote wisely, the youth will be in for a better day.
And from there, we'll take a short break, but don't go away. We'll be right back.
Your right, my right, our right. Everybody's right is protected. Human Rights Radio 101.1, redefining broadcasting.
Welcome back. And on the foreign scene, United Nations Chief Antonio Guterres Thursday warned the world against sleepwalking into war over North Korea as he called for diplomatic efforts to banish nuclear weapons from the Korean peninsula. Speaking on a visit to Japan, Secretary General Guterres said the worst possible thing that could happen would be for the world to sleepwalk into a war that might have very dramatic consequences. The UN Security Council has imposed 3 rounds of sanctions over the past year against North Korea over its powerful missile and nuclear test. Guterres said those sanctions need to be implemented by North Korea first and other countries whose role is crucial. And British Prime Minister Theresa May heads to a Brussels summit today, rolling from a parliamentary defeat over Brexit that threatens to undermine her, just as EU leaders back the opening of trade talks. The other 27 leaders are expected during the 2-day meeting in Brussels to endorse an interim deal on the terms of Britain's divorce that May sealed with the EU last week. But on the eve of the summit, May's own lawmakers rebelled to demand that Parliament have the final say on any Brexit agreement before Britain leaves the European Union on March 29, 2019. The fresh blow to May's authority will renew fears in Brussels about her ability to push through a deal and avoid a disorderly Brexit. Leaders are expected on Friday to give the green light for a second phase of talks covering a post-Brexit transition phase and future relations between Britain and the EU, including a possible trade deal. And in sports, Nigeria's first Federation NFF's first Vice President, Sheyi Akinwumi, has been named head of a 4-man panel to unravel the issues behind the slip that led to Nigeria forfeiting the 2018 FIFA World Cup qualifying match against Algeria on the 10th of November 2017. The concluding match of Group B of the African Series for Russia 2018 ended in a 1-1, but FIFA on Tuesday awarded all 3 points to Algeria following Nigeria's use of a disqualified defender, Abdullahi Shehu, in that encounter. The committee has 2 weeks to submit its report. It will, among other things, investigate how the slip came about and those who were responsible. And that's the news this hour, but we'd like to remind you that you can continue to follow us on our social media handle. Facebook is Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. You can also tweet at us at HRights Radio. Thank you for listening. My name is Oikike Igado Kure.